Start recording. Excellent. So welcome. Today is Monday, May 5th. Also, Cinco de Mayo, right? If you're celebrating it, Day of the Dead, which is kind of what I expect bears to feel this coming week. Dead. This is kind of what I'm seeing here is quite simply a fake out. Again, a fake move Monday, right? We have USDT.D already building an AMD to the upside. We tapped it. We could go a little bit more. It has a little bit more room to move. But really, if we start making closures back in range down here at 5.16, we're already below range on USDT.D. Then we're going to see a pretty big pump, pretty quick pump coming up in the market. This is kind of my bias still. I'm kind of following it, trade, make your bias and then trade it. If it gets invalidated, then you have to adjust it. So I'm seeing a pretty big pump here coming up, probably sometime this week. So let's check the weekly real quick, or the daily. Actually, yeah, the daily is better. Yeah, we already tapped into it. We invalidated this slightly, so we could go up to we could go up a little bit more here, something like this. But in all reality, we did flip. This is a market structure break. So we could just do like a sweep up and then back down, right? Some sort of sweep where we take the lows, or take the high a little bit and then dump. So cautious longs, low leverage longs still, but for the most part, the draw on the weekly is still going to be the 4.58. So yeah, now, but it's just a matter of like the daily here looks a little bullish, but then you go down to the weekly and it's actually already tapped into the weekly inversion. So like the higher time frames look super bearish, but then as you go like down to like the daily or the 8 hour, it's like, okay, maybe you can go up a little bit more from here because there's another gap there. Actually, no, this has already been tapped. So yeah, my bias still stands, I would say. We either do a little bit more of a dump here, or we just consolidate and then dump. So in both cases, bullish on the market this week. So with that said, let's take a look at Bitcoin. Yeah, so things here, this is the Cinco de Mayo symbol, right? Skull. Hey, welcome. Thanks for joining. So Cinco de Mayo, right? It is a great holiday where we celebrate the heritage of the long lost relatives, which in this case will be the long lost bears. Because this week something's going to happen. I don't know what. I really don't know what. I can't predict the future. All I can tell you is that the charts, they say something and you just got to listen, right? So this consolidation here, it looks bearish, right? Because we have an AMD on the low time frame. But then if you go into the high time frame here, this weekly turned green, right? This weekly's green right now. The daily's green, right? Even if we do an inversion here, we can go up to like 95, or we can sweep these equal lows. In both cases, if we can hold this 91,600 level, which is already a daily bullish change of structure right now, then effectively we're going to see prices rebalance to the highs. So 102 is kind of where I see it. And what's interesting though is that we are building, this is actually a high time frame market maker sell model, right? So for those of you who do know ICT, we have one consolidation after an impulse. We have our second consolidation after an impulse. Then we have one more range to be built. One more range to be built after that. Once we get into that range, this high time frame AMD will play out, and our OTs for a short will actually end up playing out. And as you can see, 102,734, 102,734 is going to be the level where I start to look for shorts, because this range is going to hold. We're going to fail to make a higher high. I'm not shorting here. This is the long, right? We want to short up here. And then this will be where we look for the short because we'll fail to make a higher high. And then because any consolidation here will be bearish. assume because we'll need to break above 102. We'll need to break above 102, 103 in order to invalidate. So having a short here is actually really good RR because your invalidation is actually really tight, right? Your SL could be up here, but your invalidation is consolidation right above this order block right there. This is like orange, right? Look how tight that is. Look how tight that is. It's super easy. So you can even put an SL here, a soft SL here. I'm playing this with alerts. Once we get there, I'll call it out. But until then, I'm not shorting. Once we get there, we'll consolidate, and any consolidation is bearish. And again, as I said before, we have this open weekly down here at 64. Consolidation down, back down to 64. Everyone thinks right now is the time to go short, but in reality, it's not. It's going to be taking out everyone who's bearish. As soon as we take out everyone who's bearish, everyone's going to flip bullish. Everyone's going to say, oh, 100K on Bitcoin. Mark my words, 100K on Bitcoin. As soon as that happens, everyone's going to flip bullish. And then guess what? The market maker is going to dump it on everyone. Okay, so be careful. Do not long when you get up there at all whatsoever. And I will call the short when it comes time. So again, just be careful there. So same thing with Sol. Every single coin, not every single, so like a bunch have a similar structure. So Sol has a similar structure to Bitcoin, where we are going to be pushing up here. And then as soon as we do, we're going to elicit incredible FOMO. But this weekly and the monthly and the quarterly for Solana, all is bearish. So if this quarterly cannot clear 220 and this monthly cannot clear 220, Solana will take a turn back down to $30. So I'll be calling out that short as well. We're not there yet, but again, we want to make sure that we elicit the most FOMO possible in the market, and then we short retail once we see the FOMO's hit its peak, right? So when FOMO's hit its peak, it'll probably be when this is arrived, right? Excellent. So with that said, I'll do ETH, but please post any coins that you guys have or tracking or watching, and we'll go from there. So here's my ugly squiggle of ETH, but for the most part, I have an ETH long right now. It's in profits, but it's not. It's very small, and the reason why is we have this quarterly inversion right here. If we were to clear 2K on the quarterly and on the monthly, this AMD will play out. And what will end up happening is we will end up any sort of consolidation from this level will take those equal highs, and we will see a new all-time high on ETH, right? So very simple there, nothing to go crazy about. And another reason why is ETH BTC. We've hit range lows. Consolidation here. If we're unable to take this low, this supports the SMR. As soon as we close back above yellow, 0.2315. As soon as we close at 0.12315, excuse me, this will actually support that. This is the actual, this is the SMR down here, right? So this will be the range on the monthly, and then we'll take a new all-time high on ETH BTC, and Ethereum will overtake BTC in the coming months and years, if that is the case. So I'm in ETH long, just chilling. I might add it to it a little bit more later, but just got to play the ranges. Remember, play the ranges, keep it simple. That's it. So I'll look through the coins you guys posted. Let's see. And some questions. Oh, Skystar, good to see you. It's been a while. Thank you. I'm good. Thank you. Keeping busy, but you know how it is. Link. So Link here is also incredibly bullish. Incredibly bullish. We have a monthly SMR, we have a quarterly, and we also have this AMD structure down here. This is one of those that I had for a bit, but I closed. I really want to reopen this one because on the monthly, this looks absolutely stunning. Something where we're going to be going towards the 0.5 of the weekly and the monthly. So roughly now, I mean, even now is a good entry because any consolidation here will end up taking the highs at 17 to 19. And then even consolidation at 15 to 719 will actually clear this range and flip that OB back again, right? So then we go to the quarterly range. We're back in quarterly range. We invalidated this level, and all that consolidation is a new all-time high for Link, okay? So this is another one. I'm going to pick this up as well. New all-time high coming up on Link probably in the coming months, years. Very, very clean structure here, incredibly clean. I had this on low leverage, but I definitely want to pick it up again soon. So thank you for calling that one out as well. So let's see what else. Sui. Haven't looked at Sui in a bit, but last time I did, this range is a little weird. It's just it's just a little weird. This quarterly already cleared the low, and where's our 50? Where's our 50? It is under 50 on the quarter, right? So we'll go back to that. This is marked purple. I'll try do this as quickly as I can so I can get through all everyone's questions here. We flipped this monthly on the PDA for positive. Okay, so no, this is actually pretty good. Monthly seems good. Probably breakaway gap here. We are above the 50. Closure on the weekly would flip this. So let's put that down right there. This is the 50 of that. So that's yellow, current range low. Weekly. Ooh, guys. Daily closure here is going to flip this level. Look at this. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. So here's the daily. I think the daily is going to leave this breakaway gap on the weekly. So the fractals here seem like we're just going to be bouncing and then clear this SMR. So it basically wants everyone to think this is bearish again. Same thing, right? Same thing. And once we do that, we're going to be making a new all-time high because all of this is just completely smooth ERL right here. There's literally nothing. There's no defense. There's literally no defenses the bears have at all. So daily here, I mean, besides the daily, a little bit there, weekly, a tiny bit here. So let me do that. Let me redraw this. It's not going to be a straight line. I'll make it a little bit more accurate for you guys here. Oops, I am pressing buttons by accident. Let's do that again. So roughly, daily gets flipped. Something this week is going to happen, right? This is what the chart's saying. This daily, the next day to Tuesday, we might get a tiny little pullback here, tiny. But if we hold 3.13, there's your long if you want it right there. I'm not taking this. I'm already jacked up in alt longs. But if you want, there's your long. You could put your stop right here at 3.13. That is a daily bullish change of structure right there. So this flip would be the flip of this monthly range. So let's see if we zoom in a little bit here. We're gonna look at this in just one more way here. We make a little bit of a high or bounce, kind of go back down to 3.13. After that, I'd expect the extension to land us somewhere in like 4.15 and then reconsolidate, right? So something like this would be what I'd be looking for on Sui. Hopefully that makes sense to you guys. What else we got? Lumia and Vine and YiFi, Yearn Finance, ENA. Oh yeah, lots of good questions. Okay, so I'll see if I can go through these pretty quickly. So Lumia, I don't think I've ever seen this one before. Oh, I've never seen this one before. This is brand new to me. Lumia. Okay, so let me just do this real quick. This is, we got our quarterly range low, range high. Let's check the monthly. Monthly took the high first. We don't have a full AMD just yet. On the bearish side, we'd have to have third tap. So what's our monthly extension from here? Let's check that. And then this closure on the monthly is our reversal. Orange. And then we have our daily, let's see, daily and weekly. We have a weekly SMR here. Yes. Ooh, nice that we do. Already a weekly SMR here. We rebalanced, so this is not completely clean. But what's our closest IRL here? It's basically up here. Right, so super easy right there. But this is, the RR is there. The RR is here for this play. I would say that for sure. Assuming we rebalance and we stay above this, let's check the weekly range. So weekly range balance is, let's check it. Oh, wrong one. And it would be right about here. Purple. Beautiful. Okay, so let's go back to the daily. Awesome. So we have an internal SMR and then one range low right here on the daily. So let's check that. Yeah, well, this is actually not too bad. But there's no confirmation here. I would say with this one, I would wait and I would take it if we rebalance towards 32. If we rebalance to 32, then what'll end up happening is we're going to break this SMR and we're basically going to do like a quick pop, retest, and then pop again. Something like that. So yellow is kind of like the expected path here, only if we make the close above, I'll make this a different color. So teal is the expected path here, only if we make the close above yellow. So for this one, set an alert, keep it simple. Just set an alert, say, maybe I'll do this one too. Let's see. Let's do a crossing up greater than bar close on the daily. Let's say this will be a Lumia long confirm, right? And basically what I'm looking for is the price to break up, reconsolidate above range balance on the weekly, tap, close above. Once we close above, then it'll be breaking this SMR and then go for the monthly. Monthly IRL at 68 cents. So pretty good long there, not too bad. RR from that, you could take it from the SMR down here in the internal one, that's fine. So somewhere like this, let's check the RR on that real quick. Yeah, it's roughly a 7. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. So let's do Vine. I'll keep it going here. Let's keep it going. Swap. Here we go. So Vine. Ooh, I like Vine a lot here. I think I did this. I tried to enter it, but I think I was just a little too early. Let me just redo it real quick. Quarterly does have an open range low there. I do not like that. Do not like that. Oh, and then we have a monthly SMR. So yeah, no, this is a no-go. This is a no-go. I do not like this anymore. Yeah, monthly SMR on the, so this would be our range. Let's check that. There's our OTEs. And there's our daily 8-hour. Right. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We got these equal lows here. Here's our range. The next pump that I'm talking to you about from this range is going to take us to 5 cents, but then we're going to sweep the lows. We're going to make a new all-time low probably. New all-time low. After that, then that all-time low would probably end up being the SMR of this range. So we clear those lows, and then we close back in range to take the high. So that's kind of my bias for this one. Right now, because this monthly is going to play out to the upside, but the weekly is going to play out to the upside, but the monthly is going to take over. The monthly bearish that I just showed you a moment ago is going to take over, and we're going to see a rejection around 50.054, right? I'll put an alert down here actually, so maybe like right here. This will be a 4-hour closure. So let's go 4-hour closure above, and this is going to be above message Vine short to new ATL, new all-time low. So that'll be the short to new all-time low, and then we can take the long after that if we want. But we can also just wait. That's fine. Doesn't need to do anything from there. Sadly, I think now looking at it again. Looks like this range already created a bearish SMR, so this is not going to make a new high from here until we clear this liquidity. This is too thin. There's nothing here for bulls to use. Cool. Okay, let's see what else is next. ENA or Yearn. Okay, let's see how quickly I can get through those. Yearn, same thing here. Same thing, different story. We could sweep OTs on this range. I've had this charted for a bit. I am probably not going to change the bias on this one. This is pretty clean. We've had this accumulation, and I think I've showed it to you guys a while ago when I told you this is the same accumulation that Link did before it pumped 500% on the weekly. And then possibly once we clear the weekly, again 1,000% on the monthly. This is the exact same thing that's going to happen, right? But the problem with this though is that on the lower time frames, like the 8 hour, the daily, what the time frames I consider lower are still, this range is still has not been rated. This low has not been rated yet, so it does not fulfill my criteria to make a new high. So with that said, I would expect some sort of sweep possible to OTs on the long here. So yeah, basically long from 48.60 roughly, and then short from 650 to 700. Sorry, yeah, 6,500 to 7,100, basically in that range up here. And that'll also be going to a new all-time low. But what'll be interesting though is when we see this new all-time low in the coming weeks, months, this new all-time low will be the all-time low if we break back into range. So a lot of alts, I'm watching for this. I think I had peak limit orders. I'm probably to reopen those soon. But same thing with Yearn here. If we break this range, make closures above, then it's going to end up going back into its previous range high, right? So orange is kind of what I expect to move, how Yearn would be moving over the next few months. So hopefully that answers your question for Yearn. Let's go to ENA. Yes, that's it, right? Yes. So ENA is a little weird. I think I have like 3 different probabilities here, but let me just take a look at them again. Do not like it here. Do not like it here. Monthly, quarterly doesn't look good. Monthly doesn't look good. We need something. We need something here. Let's see. This low is rated. This monthly has, yeah, that's, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if this range held and we manipulate the highs first and then do the exact same thing where we do this, right? We manipulate the highs first and then sweep the lows again. But really, I think the thing here though is that it really depends on the closures now with ENA. This range could go down a little further, to be honest. I do not like ENA here at all. This is not clean because we have open IRL in the daily down here and equal lows. This low was swept, but then this low down here wasn't, all the way down here. Let me clean this up. Here. So blue has not been swept. So if we consolidate and then sweep blue, then I would be bullish. But I would be only bullish up until 55 cents. So this range is like not super clean, but once we do take that low, I'd have to see the reaction there. So I'm not touching ENA yet. This is like a no trade zone for me. This low is too close on the quarterly and the monthly here to not take. As soon as we get to that low, it'll just be, it's really like not a high probability in either direction. Maybe, yeah, even like I wouldn't even short here either because this weekly already played out and now we're back in range low. So this is a complete no trade zone for me on both sides. So let's take a look at a few others here. XCH, Chia, if you know that, if you're old enough to know that. Chia is one I've been following very closely for a while now. I'm going to just zoom out to the yearly for one moment here. Here's a yearly candle. There's this 2 yearly candles. Now, probability in the next 7 months that we close above $12. You guys tell me. We're at $11.80. You tell me, what do you think the probability is of closing above $12? 50-50. 50-50? 50-50? How close are we? How close are we to $12 right now? Either it does or it doesn't. Very true, but you got to think about probabilities when you think about, and I like to think about liquidity as magnets, remember? If the closer you are to a certain price point, the stronger the magnet, the stronger the attraction is. If this yearly happens to go above 12 and stay above 12, we are back in yearly ranges after clearing quarterly equal lows. So this is insanely bearish to me. Absolutely monstrously insanely bearish. I can't even begin to guys. This is like, we clear this range, this is going to spring so far, so fast, it's going to blow everyone's pants off. So please hold on to your pants if you're still on this long with me. This one is, I have really, really high hopes for this one. But Chia is looking still absolutely phenomenal here. We cleared these quarterly equal lows. We're literally pushing right now. As we speak, we are pushing to break $12. If this monthly or this weekly closes back in range, we have a full and complete yearly bullish AMD, and we will see a new all-time high, period. End of sentence. That's it. There's no and ifs or buts, right? That's pure market structure. There's nothing, no other, like what'll end up happening, guys, is we will go up to 28. Well, sure, we'll retest 12, but if we retest 12, we're just going to rock it again, right? It's just going to be an absolute monstrosity of a rocket to a new all-time high. So keeping this on, nothing, no changes there. Let's see what else we got going on. We got EOS. So for EOS's range is bearish from the weekly, but bullish from the daily. So looking at it right now, I already entered. I'm in a long right now in profits. SL break even. We already dipped into this 8-hour inversion right where my entries were. And I expect these these highs to be taken first in the manipulation, this coming manipulation. Once we get into this manipulation, we actually have this yellow. This yellow we're back testing. We're going to flip the 70 cents level. We flip that level. Our range high is back up at $1.25. So those are my TPs up there. I'll be taking full profits because I expect this range on the monthly to hold and effectively bring us right back down under 70 cents again to take all the smooth liquidity down here. All the smooth liquidity down here, right there, right? We flipped this level already, so I expect it to bounce from here. If it goes back down, then it would be invalid, obviously, but orange is the path I would expect on the seek and destroy for this range right now. So let's keep that on watch as well. Mavia is my next one. This one is also really cool. We've hit Mavia two or three times. I think it's twice so far. Maybe 3 times, I forgot. But this is one of those weird ones where the structure looks like, at first, it's like, what is this doing? It looks like you're making lower highs, right? But that's what they want you to think. You gotta be one step ahead of those market makers, because really what we're seeing here is effectively a manipulation. We invalidated this weekly bearish inversion. We're closing above. So this white line here, I'll make this a different color so it's clear. This orange line here is the weekly range low of the previous SMR. So this weekly SMR down here, if we can close this week in the next 6 days above 20 cents, then the balance that we're going to hit, the rebalance, is going to go all the way back up to $1.90 from this range, because it has literally no other long liquidity from those levels. So really, sorry, short and sweet for this one, because but I'm in a long here, little underwater, but not too worried, because again, I have 6 days left. We have 6 days left on this weekly candle, right? A lot can happen in 6 days, guys. And again, if this weekly turns green, or we get one daily candle closure above orange, then I'm going to start full porting, because at that point we're basically going back to the range high. So cool. Hopefully that answered your question. BAT. I'll see how quickly I can go through the rest of these. Let's look at BAT. Awesome. So same thing here. Pretty bullish structure. I do like it. Let's see what we're looking at, the weekly extension here. This is a little iffy, but it does look good. It looks like it's not fully ready yet. Daily looks like it's going to invert, so I'm going to say something like we do the inversion first, right? We look for the inversion first. and then the sweep. So here's teal. I would expect price to follow this. We'd want to go to 15 cents roughly, reject, sweep 12, and then bounce to 20. So that range is pretty clean from that. So hopefully that answers your question. Let's see. Oh my goodness. There's a bunch of questions here. Oh, so Wheelie, could you explain the concepts of weekly, monthly, quarterly, yearly open close? I see many people talking about sweeping them, but never understood the logic behind that. Okay, so quite simply put, the sweeping of yearly open close or monthly or whatever is just referring to the candle structure, right? So if we go to the monthly, for example, if you just marked, I'll clean this up a little bit. If you just marked the monthly or the yearly or the quarterly open, here's one on green, right? We swept it this monthly, right? We swept it, meaning we took it and we're gonna close probably below it. Probably, we'll see. But we swept it, right? That's the point. And in candle range theory, after you sweep one side, price typically rebalances. Rebalance meaning it goes to the 50%. 50% of this monthly range goes back down to here, right? Back down to basically these two blue lines. So we swept green. We're going to be going back towards these two blue lines on the monthly, and there's our low, right? Now, here's the thing. This is also the range low here. So there's a high confluence from that range that what we'll see is if this monthly plays out in the next 26 days, right, this weekly is going to end up seeking that monthly draw. As I said, right, what we want to see is we want to seek this monthly draw. We want to take the high, sweep the low, but then close above for the bounce. So that is basically candle range theory in a nutshell. So hopefully that answers your question. But yes, I would probably. I mean, this is pretty good short coming up. I might do this short. Maybe. We'll see. As I said, I'm a little bullish right now. So for a very, very, very tight short, maybe. But this is like the RR in this is tiny, right? It's only a 3 RR trade. I wouldn't want to. I don't really want to take this because that's not really that good of a trade, to be honest. So I'll just forgo that one. But the long is pretty good, right? The long is from this range is pretty good. So we have OTE levels, right? Where's that? Yeah, we could sweep a little lower, right? Sweep down to our OTs, basically down here. So somewhere between the two blue lines is where I'd expect the long entries to be, and then to seek the highs after that. Cool. So hopefully that answered your question there. Let's see, what else are we looking at? BAT, I did BAT. Oh, Mana, FXS, yeah, and then GMT and TRB. Yes, okay, cool, guys. So I have about like 10 more minutes, so I'll see how quickly I can get through these. Mana. This is probably not valid anymore, but I will check again. Let's see. Weekly. So monthly is super bullish, but the lower time frame is less so. This could be still a breakaway gap. We could take the highs first. Yeah, I'm still leaning towards bullish still. Maybe even the previous chart I mentioned on ENA, same thing, similar structure. It really depends on whether or not we sweep the highs. I would say if you're looking for a long, I would say this is not the best structure to look for a long in because of this range. But I would want to wait personally for this, specifically for Mana. I'd want to wait until we're back down below 24, right? So somewhere over here, anywhere in there, for a long. But yeah, this is I'd probably wait on that one. And then the same, let's check a FXS. I'm going through all the questions in order, so apologies if I don't get to your question yet. I'm going to clean this up a little bit because this is outdated. I think I had this a bit, but it is What do we got? Actually, let me just check the quarterly again. Quarterly swept everything. So that's, but we do have a quarterly bearish right up here. Monthly, what do we got? Monthly, we're flipping. Monthly, we're flipping bullish. Ever so slightly. Ever so slightly. Weekly, we are also flipping bullish. I'm going to clear this up a little bit. We do have one level here. This is, we already tapped into it. So really, the next high would be up here. Interesting. The structure on this one is like a little strange. This weekly was supported bearish, but then now we're back here. So this is a little strange, to be honest. I would probably want to wait more on this one. The daily is bearish. Okay, yeah, so daily is bearish. I'd want to wait more on this one. But roughly something like that is what I'd want to see. Roughly, very roughly. 1.8 would be I'd would look for longs. I still wouldn't short here because this is, we cleared equal lows on the monthly. So the RR for the short here is not that good because you have to anchor like right on the daily, which is probably going to be invalidated, assuming the next day closes. Oh, this might be okay. This might be okay, but again, this RR on this one is just not good, right? Because as soon as we get down to 1.8, we're probably going to be supporting this structure and then bouncing. So this is, shorts here. I wouldn't do it just because the RR is not good. RR is not that good. But as soon as we make this range, then we'll probably clear the high again. Cool. So hopefully that answers your question there. Let's see. GMT. I'm going to do GMT, and then I need to do. I'll do TRB, and then I think I will have to call it there. I'm going to clear this up because it is very old chart. Okay, quarterly looks good. We cleared the range. Monthly looks good. Also cleared the range. We have closure on yellow, validated, internal, also open on the monthly, weekly here. Possible push, ever so slightly on the weekly. And then we have our triple tap, and we have our SMR, and then we have our OTEs right there. So let's see. Again, this is a no trade zone for me. I would not want to take a short or long. I would want to long this once we get back down. So if we go up and down, great. This is what's going to happen. Or if we just go down straight, this is also what's going to happen. So in both cases, I'm bullish. Both cases, absolutely both cases. So, and I would probably be looking to TP if I was to take this one, between like 7 cents and 8 cents, something like that. RR on this one is actually pretty good because of how tight we can make this, something like that, right? Not too bad. That's about a 6.1. So that also looks good. Cool. Hopefully that answers your question for GMT. Oh, and TRB. Oh, TRB is one that it's a sleeper. It's a sleeper. I'll do TRB real quick. I have a long, not the best entry, but honestly, I don't even need the best entry for this one. I really don't care, because what's going to be interesting with this one is scam coin. This is where what's crazy. It is a scam coin, but it's about to scam everyone. It's going to scam all the bears. Because what's going to happen is once we take this low, even if we wick down to 22, I might risk manage a little bit, but I'll then re-add at 23 to 22. Either way, we've already reclaimed this daily. So either we consolidate and then bounce, or we reject here and then bounce again, right? But in both cases, this SMR, we've already closed this range. We already have a bullish market structure here. The bullish structure already exists. We are bouncing on a quarterly level. This level is a quarterly level, guys, which means that the longer we stay above $26, which we are right now, the higher the probability of us making a new all-time high. I'm serious. I'm not joking. I'm not trying to mess with you guys right now. I'm really not. Because as soon as we close this range, we go to 27, any consolidation at 27 is bullish because we've already validated this daily inversion on the bullish side. And then what's going to happen is we're going to slowly crawl up. We're going to slowly crawl up. But then once we make daily closures above 40, this thing is going to fly so far, so fast, everyone's pants are going to be ripped off yet again. So hold on to your pants for this one if you're in this long with me. This one is going to be ripping pants off because this will be going to the other standard deviation, possibly up to like 1K or more. So holding this one, I'll probably add to it on the day, like basically every day. Right now I'm just keeping it small, but I'm adding to it probably in the next couple of days. I'll keep adding to it because the daily already has this structure bullish. We already have a bullish CSD. We have the only thing I do not like about the range right now is we do have an open IRL at $24, which means that this yellow probability is still open, like it's still possible. And in that case, that's why I'm not sizing too heavy just yet. But as soon as we do, that's when I'll start to size heavy because either we just consolidate and then grind up, or we sweep the lows and then I just size in then. And then we sweep up again. But in both cases, it'd be bullish, right? Because this is going to scam everyone easily. All the bears that are shorting this, it's going to scam everyone because the quarterly here. Look at this chart. Look at this chart. How there's like nothing here. There's like a one IRL up here, and then this is an equal high. That's going to be slammed right through. This is an equal high. That's going to be slammed right through too. And like this is an equal high right up here. That's also going to be slammed right through. So as soon as we start making closures again, our magic number is like between 33 and 40. Once we start making daily closures above 33 and 40, the magnets of these monthly equal highs are going to become stronger, and this is going to launch so fast, it's going to blow people's pants off again. So just keep holding, right? That's all. I have this long. I'm gonna just keep holding it. There's no rush on this one. So hopefully, just you're holding that with me, and we'll make some 4-digit gains easily. So, but what else we got? Let's see. If I long this heavy at 24 and hold to BTC, I'll blow you. Oh my god. Okay. Please. You don't need to. You really don't. But this is one of those, we just want to stay patient. You want to, you just slowly scale in. You can enter now, but you got to make sure your liquidation price is 0 because we're already at the quarterly level. We already have a bullish daily inversion. Like we already supported bullish here. The longer we consolidate effectively really above $22, the higher the probability of us seeing a new all-time high. So this is one of those that'll take a while, take some patience. I'll keep adding to it every day, a little bit. And then once we start to see closures above 38, that's when I'll start to like really ramp up my ads because then this inversion is going to hold on the quarterly and we're going to basically just go flying. So cool. Excellent. I think that's all I have time for. Appreciate it, all you guys. I will catch you all later, and I'll post my stream on YouTube, obviously, and you can catch it there. And then feel free to DM me if you have any other questions. And remember, Monday daily range, still building. So let's stay patient. Okay, I'll catch you all later.